talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine.
Hello everybody, welcome to Anna with Plants. My name is Anastasia and thank you for joining me for today's video. We have a Hoya prop and chop. It is time to replenish the stores of my Hoya propagation, so I am going to be breaking down some of the garage Hoya. I think one of you called the garage Hoya the Garage of Doom Hoya, which I think is super fitting. So I'm going to be chopping up some of those, and then I will also be taking some more cuttings from plants that I know I've gotten requests for. That is what we have on the agenda today. Hopefully you guys feel a little bit more cozy. The lights are turned down a little bit more. So I'll take you through each Hoya, we'll chop it up, and then at the end, when I have all my cuttings, we will pot them up together. So let's get started. Okay, we have been adjusted. I turned up the exposure just a little bit so we can see. We're gonna start off with the Garage of Doom Hoyas. This is what we have. These are the ones that I am just decided that it'll just be easier to take propagations of and break down the plant like that. I do have a couple that I do plan to sell off the whole plant eventually, but these I will just be trying to take more props of. So first one on the chopping block is the Hoya Germany. This is what it looks like. It has really lovely, nice big leaves. Yeah, just a really lovely plant. It is a little bit dry, I will say that. So we'll see how the propagations do. They should root up okay, but maybe they might take a little bit longer. So this one, I won't be keeping any of them. I'm just gonna start chopping at the base. And I think this one was originally in like a very chunky pond mix. We'll just take some cuttings. Take this one. Should I just like leave this one a long cutting? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave this one a long cutting. And then we have these two over here. I'll have to up pot this one. So let me just up pot it real quick. Oh, there's some granules in this mix I can see. The roots are actually not that bad, just really dry. I still think I'm gonna restart it just because we're gonna pot it up in a different mix. So I'm just gonna cut off the roots here. This video is gonna go out October 1st, so happy October 1st to everybody. And it is the start of spooky season. I love Halloween. It's not my favorite holiday, but I do love it nevertheless. I can't wait to start watching some of my classic movies that I always watch this month. Cody and I, to kick things off, are going to watch 28 Years Later, because we did love 28 Days Later. I think there was one other sequel after that. We didn't watch that one. We watched the one with Cillian Murphy in it. We're gonna watch 28 Years Later. I don't think you need to watch the second one in order to get it, or at least I don't think so. So, okay, so this one's all done. So we got the Germany cuttings. Good to go. I'm just gonna leave these aside. Let's move on to the next one. This is the Hoya. It's either Nong Nook or Nong Nooch. I don't know which one it is. It is a super pretty Hoya. I love the texture of this one. It's also very bumpy and the edges are very like sharp. I just thought, I don't know what I thought with this one. I think I'll just be selling off all the cuttings that I take of this one too, just because, you guys, I gotta really try to buckle down and focus on Hoya that I absolutely love. I have so many Hoya that I like. Okay, this one, I don't have to up pot because that's enough stem to restart the plant. Sorry, the boys are barking at something in the back. I have no idea what it is. All right, first cutting. Yeah, so plans are we're gonna watch 28 Years Later. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you think of it. We don't really do very much else aside from watch spooky movies. I have been getting into spooky books though. I just read my first horror book and it was surprisingly really, really good. Okay, I have 4 of these. Next up, we have the Hoya latifolia polystachya. I think I just sold the top cut of this one. I will be keeping a cutting of this one because I do like it still. I feel bad because this one had a baby leaf on the way, which is not going to make it, but okay, we have these 3 going in the pile, and then I have to up-pot this one. The book I just read that I really liked, it's called Blood on Her Tongue, and it's a gothic horror. I was shocked at how much I really, really liked it. I would say it's like a 4.5 maybe out of 5, not quite like a 5-star, but it, you know, takes place in the 1800s. There's like a bog and like a spooky dark estate. There's a lot of body horror in there though, so if you get like queasy about body stuff, I wouldn't really recommend that book for you. I enjoyed the pacing, highly recommend. I bought a few more books that I want to read this month. That's going to be The Lamb by Lucy Rose. I ordered that one. I ordered Slewfoot, which is a witchy book. And then I ordered the first book that author who wrote Blood on Her Tongue had, My Dreadful Darling or something like that, because I think people in the reviews of Blood on Her Tongue were saying that her debut novel was actually better. I want to read that one because I did really like the prose in it. I thought her writing was quite beautiful. I haven't really read spooky books since I was a kid, but I really love it. This is the bottom cut of that one. Moving right along, this is my Meredithii round leaf. I got this one from UPT, and unfortunately I had 2 plants of this in the garage. The one plant, however, did not make it. I tried to rehydrate it. I couldn't bring it back. So we do have this one. The leaves here feel really nice and firm. I'm just going to chop this one down, and this one I will be keeping because I do really love the leaves of this one. Very, very much. Did any of you guys read Goosebumps as a kid? I feel like that is a total 90s kids thing, but maybe Goosebumps were around earlier than that. The Goosebumps books scared me so much. It didn't even matter if I read them during the day. I could read them at night, and they still scared the absolute bejesus out of me. I wonder if I read them now, if I would still be scared or not. I would hope not, but I still get really scared for horror movies. I wonder if they come out with new Goosebumps books or if that's just a thing of the past. Okay, these roots are actually not that bad, so I might keep them and just transition them. I think I'm gonna cut right here. This leaf is still really soft, so we'll see how it forms, but this is the bottom cut of this. And then now I'm just gonna chop up this one. The nodes are pretty tightly spaced on this one, but I think it should be fine. You know what horror movie really did me in though when I was a kid? My grandfather was watching this, so I just decided to watch it with him, and I had nightmares about this movie for months afterwards, and every now and then I will still think about this movie. It's called Jeepers Creepers, and it's an older Halloween movie, so it shouldn't have been that scary, but something about it, I don't know. I was so scared after watching that movie. Oh my Lord. Okay, so we have these cuttings, good to go. Garage of Doom Hoya. We have the one that I never took out of Fluval Stratum. I forgot what this is called, like LV9 or something. So this one is still a little bit soft, but I think I just wanna transition it and see how it grows. The Fluval is so dry. It's actually good. The roots are still good. So, oh, there are 2 cuttings in here. See, I never knew that. This whole entire time, I did not know that there are 2 cuttings in here. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna chop off this long tendril since it's not doing us any favors. I don't chop this up anymore. I'm just gonna transition it. Let me clean all the substrate off, and then we will move into the Hoyas that I will be taking cuttings off of that you guys have been requesting. First one up is the Mitrata Silver. Oh my God, this trellis situation, man. I'm gonna have to repot this one soon. Not today, but sometime soon. It's looking much more hydrated than when I showed it in the last video, so that's good. Also, got a peduncle that's already budding up again, because this one bloomed. Last time I looked at this plant, there weren't any like really obvious areas that I can take a cutting from, but let's just see. Let's reassess again. I'm gonna take a cutting here. Still looks pretty full, so it shouldn't be too bad. Let's take a look at the cutting. We got 3 nodes. I think this one was growing upside down. Yeah, this one was growing upside down. So I'm gonna have to put the leaves this way. They'll hopefully orient themselves back, but this was the end of the tendril and then the leaves grew like this. Whoopsie. Ooh, that one was super sticky. Man, I forgot how sticky Hoya sap is. Okay, so these are the 3 cuttings I have. One is a 1-leafer, and then these are 2-leafers. Unfortunately, they're just gonna have to be placed like that, but that's okay because this side is really cool too. So, okay, we have 3 Matrata cuttings going into the bin. Let's take a cutting off of the Wilbur graves, and I initially wanted to take one off of the base of the plant, so this part down here, but then as I was looking at it, they're so close together. The nodes are really, really close together, and I don't want to take off that much of the plant, so I have a really easy cut I can make, which is this one. It's gonna be a small cutting, unfortunately, but that was at the base of the plant. Should I do it? This is gonna be a really risky cut, but I think I can root this one. Oof. I don't know, you guys. I might have made a mistake. It's okay, we'll try it, we'll try it. Okay, look at this. The stem is like almost non-existent. There are 2 aerial roots though on either side. So I'm hoping with the high humidity, but look at the color on the leaves. I think that's really good. They're just so close together. Okay, we'll just do these 2 for now. Let's move on to the next plant. Well, this one I'm just gonna throw in because I took this cutting earlier. This is another elephant cutting, 1-leafer. Next, I almost dropped this Hoya. I always drop Hoyas when I film. Okay, so this is the Sabah Dragonfly, and I did some unrooted cuttings of this one, but I do want to do some rooted ones. So let's see. This one also kind of took a growing hiatus on me, which I did not appreciate. I'll cut this. This is a good 2-leaf cutting. Hi, Sims. Hi. Hey, Sims. Little Sims here says hello. Don't you boo. He knows in my pocket is where I keep the treats on our walks. Oh, hi, little boy. Hey, Simba. Yeah. This is what he does, is he'll be outside and then he'll periodically come inside just to give me cuddles, or maybe to give him cuddles. He's such a cuddly boy. Luca? He is not a cuddly man. And then there's a couple more cuttings going in the bin. Ooh, look at this Hoya sap. It is dripping everywhere. Gonna take a couple of cuttings off of my variegated Mathilde, just maybe 2, because one of the Mathildes that I've been growing out pushed all green leaves, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to wait for another couple leaves to come through and see if any variegation comes back. And I think I'm gonna cut from this end. Okay, and here are the 2 cuttings. Let's do a cutting of my New Guinea Ghost. I have a tendril here that died off at the end, so that is a pretty natural spot that we can cut it, but look at the purple sun stress on this Hoya. It is stunning, so pretty. And we're gonna chop this tendril down. And I'll be sure to add a few cuttings per pot of the Nova Ghost, but everything is in there. Now Let's do, we did that one. Oh, the Navawanensis, definitely one that I want to take some cuttings off of. It actually also looks really good in this lower lighting. Super pretty, super pretty. The strand that I am going to cut is actually this one right here. I'm gonna try to cut it as close to the base as I can. Aha. She's a little less full now, but she still looks very pretty. There are new growth points and everything being activated. Like there's a new one here and then there's a new one back here. So she'll be fine. Let's look at the cutting we took. This is it. And we'll see what we can do. So take this one, this one. This is gonna be another really short stemmed one. These stems are pretty short. I think we can do it. So we got 1 node, 2 leaves, and then these both have 2 nodes on them, so 4 in total. Last plant I wanna do, and then we're gonna put all these in the pest prevention bath, AKA Hoya soup. So we got the Argentea Princess, which I got this, I want to say the beginning of summer, and I did let it grow a few more leaves, so now I think is a good time to chop up the whole thing. It's in cocoa husk, and we're gonna root all the cuttings and see if their variegation continues. This one, however, compared to my first cutting, I can just tell is a much more variegated plant. I have high hopes because all of the new leaves that grew in are also very variegated. We'll see what happens. I am gonna transition the base, so I'm planning on keeping the root system intact if I can. I just want to get off as much of the cocoa husk pieces. This is like ASMR. Are you relaxed yet? Okay, I'll stop. Okay, we got our base cutting. Moving on up the strand. Ooh, this cutting's really pretty. Has a lot of leaves on it. I think I'm gonna try to root this one. It looks hilarious though. Look at how small the leaf is. But it's there. I'm gonna try, why not? Oh no, one leaf fell off. Where did it fall off from? We got one leaf that, oh, it's from this cutting, whoops. And then this is the top cut. So we got five parts of this plant. This one, the base one, I will keep, and I won't put this in the Hoya soup just because I don't want to oversaturate the cocoa husk chunks. We will treat all these guys. Okay. We have a lot of cuttings. I will take a couple clips of what the soup looks like, just for all those people that happen to not see it. My first Hoya prop and chop video. And yeah, we will be back and we will quickly pot all these up. Hello, we are back. I had to turn on an extra light so you guys can still see. I'm gonna angle the camera, I think, a little bit further down. I think this will work. Yeah, this is better. So here's what we got. While I was waiting, I did pot the bottom cutting of the Argentea Princess up in the substrate that I have been using to prop Hoya in this year. Orchid bark, perlite, coarse perlite grade 3, and moss petals. Also filled up some of these pots. So these are the two that I'm gonna be using now. I'm gonna kind of go away from the 2-inch square ones, and I'm gonna be using these. There are two. There's an extra tall one, which is good for those really large Hoya cuttings with big leaves. And then there's an extra short one, which is good for really tiny Hoya, short stemmed Hoya, all of that good stuff. So these are gonna be like my two main pots that I'm gonna use. I know somebody was asking me where to buy this. I didn't know, but I actually found both of these on Amazon, so I will link them down below in the description box. So we are just gonna start pulling Hoya out. They have been drained, rinsed off. We also, I don't know why, but there are so many distractions today. Usually I don't get that problem when I film, but it's like between Cody playing video games and between the dogs barking at something, all of the noises, I'm So sorry if you can hear any of that. Anyway, we have clear prop pins as well if they need some anchoring down. And we're just gonna try to do this as quickly as possible. We're just gonna shove the cutting down, and if it's still a little bit loose, place a prop pin in it. Move on to the next one. Okay, this is the long one. Should I do? Yeah, I'll do one of these. Okay, so going back to October stuff, I don't do haunted houses. I am so chicken when it comes to that. I just, yeah, that ain't for me. I know Universal Studios does like a really great, what is it, Halloween Horror Nights or something like that. Have any of you guys gone to that are in California? I mean, part of me wants to because I've heard really good things, but I know another part of me is just like, there's no way that you're gonna survive. I did one haunted house, and it was when I was, I want to say like high school, and yeah, I was terrified throughout the whole thing. So I accidentally stepped on somebody's hands that worked at the haunted house. I felt really bad about it, but it was during a part where, you know, all of the hands were trying to grab at your ankles as you were going down this hallway, and I accidentally stepped on the guy's hand, and I think it hurt because he like retracted his hand and like kind of shook it a little bit, and I was like, oh, sorry. That happened. And yeah, did not have a good time. And I know there's like haunted hay rides. That might be a little bit less intense because I don't think they can touch you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can't touch you for haunted hay rides. However, they can for haunted houses if you sign I don't know if you have to sign like a waiver. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Because I know there's this really extreme haunted house experience. I don't know where in the United States it is, but literally these people will pay to essentially be tortured at this place. You have to sign this huge waiver that basically says if you get scared to death, we are not liable, don't sue us, type of thing. That's got to be for like the adrenaline junkies because you can like see what happens in the haunted house, and it's blood, not like real blood, like being poured on them, and it doesn't look fun. But I guess if you have like a perverse fantasy of being in a horror movie, then I guess you can live it out if you want to. Not for me. You will not catch me doing that whatsoever. All right, this Matrata silver cutting ended up facing the right way, thank God. This one, however, didn't, unfortunately. I can hear the dogs playing hard outside because Simba is now pretty much 80% the size of Luca, so now they get to play like big boys. They have a lot of fun with it, that's for sure. If any of you guys were wondering how the training went, Simba went away for doggy training for a month. I don't know if my expectations were just too high. I don't know. I was just expecting him to be more well-behaved, a lot of like unwanted behaviors to stop, and they haven't, unfortunately. The guy did tell us like some of those will just go away with maturity, but I was hoping like he could teach him like a quiet command. That didn't happen. He still barks at pretty much everything. See, part of me is just like, do I have unrealistic expectations because of his breed? He's a Pyrenees and he was bred to bark and alert to threats. So part of me just, oh my God, I almost dropped that one. Yeah, part of me just thinks maybe I just had unrealistic expectations, but I also wasn't like a super huge fan of the dog trainer. He had so many good reviews on Yelp. He had so many 5-star reviews. Of all of the dog trainers in our area, he just seemed to be like the one, right? We did it, and he has a very blunt way of talking, and I don't always vibe with that. Like, I appreciate bluntness, but sometimes when a person says something that is so blunt, you just kind of look at them and you're just like, why would you say it like that? Okay, for example, this is the thing that comes to mind, right? So we have 2 male dogs, and I did research beforehand, and we wanted to get a female, but of course that didn't happen. So he commented on the fact how when the puppy is gonna get older, that he's afraid that Luca, the older dog, will not put up with his antics and that we might have to watch out of Luca trying to kill Simba. And the way that he said that was, yeah, I don't know, one day when you guys come home from work, you might just come home to a big bloody mess. And I don't think that was really meant to be funny. My mind just kept going back to what he said again and again that day. And obviously, yes, it does happen. There are stories out there where one day their two male dogs decided to fight to the death, and that's what happened, which is horrible and tragic and unfortunately happens. But people online also said that there are plenty of people that have dogs, both male or both female, that never had that problem. And to reduce the risk of that, to try to have them grow up together as puppies. And that's why ultimately we were okay with getting two male dogs, because they were gonna grow up as puppies. Luca is not yet 2 years old. And there were like a couple of other things, like he was really trashing the trainer that trained Luca and, you know, just saying things like, oh, she didn't know like what she was doing and all of that. There's just so much variability when it comes to dog trainers. Even online, I was going through YouTube trying to find dog training videos, and there's so many opinions and styles of dog trainers out there. It's just a lot. I think at this point, because we originally were like, oh yeah, we're gonna get our older dog retrained and everything, but now seeing how Simba is and how he really isn't improved, one of the big things that we wanted him is to work on his leash reactivity. So when we have him on a leash and he sees people out and about or cars or other dogs, he just either starts barking his head off or he'll try to run after them, which is not ideal. And we were hoping that he would work on that and just help him not bark his head off, not try to run after. Unfortunately, these Mitrata leaves are gonna have to be upside down. That sucks, but it is what it is. So, and that did not happen. We were like, okay, let's take him out on a walk. So we took Simba out on a walk just by himself, and same story. It was the same thing. And to say we were disappointed was kind of an understatement. We came home after that and we were just like, okay, well, we don't know what that was. Don't know what happened. Needless to say, I think we're done paying dog trainers money, because the amount of money we have spent on board and care training is above $5,000. And just think about how much we could have done with that money. And we still have two dogs that are very reactive, that we have to be super careful where we take them and keep them on leash around distractions a lot of times and stuff. It wasn't what we wanted. We were hoping for more, and it is what it is. Would be interested to know if anyone else got their dogs board and trained and if it worked or if it didn't work. Yeah, I think for the New Guinea ghosts, I'm gonna do 2 cuttings in a pot. So that's the update with Simba. He is back home. The boys have adjusted to themselves, because it was a little bit dicey when we first brought Simba home. We were really thinking that they were gonna have this great reunion moment and it was gonna be super sweet, and that was not what happened. There was a lot of stiff body postures. Their like hackles started to get raised. They didn't end up fighting, but it was kind of veering towards that. And I think what happened is he smelled different than when he left, because he matured a lot. Mainly his balls dropped. So I don't think Luca was expecting that. Luca was like, who is this dog you brought home? Not to mention he was way bigger than when he left. That was not really quite the reunion that we were hoping. They're fine now, but was not a great first day back. No, oh my God, look at how short this stem is. It's super short. But that's also why these little short pots are so great. Have any of you guys noticed that there's so many YouTubers? I should be more specific. There's so many plant YouTubers that are kind of not really doing plant content anymore, or they were full-time doing plant content and now they're deciding to do part-time YouTube and whatnot. I just noticed that there's been at least maybe 4 or 5 people that have just done a pivot you know, that decided to not do like content creation jobs and do something different or change up their content for their channel. It's been happening more and more, I think. I noticed. I remember somebody in the comment section asked me if I would ever consider doing this full time. That is gonna be a hard pass for me. I appreciate everyone that has the guts to attempt to do this full time. I cannot ever do full-time content creation. Number one, and this is something that I really feel down to the core of my being, is I believe, this is, again, just my opinion, the more social media you consume and you participate in and you become more entrenched in, the less pros and the more cons you get from it. A little bit of social media for everyone won't hurt, but the more you go down that rabbit hole, it'll start taking a toll on your mental well-being. And I just know myself, and that will definitely happen to me if I were to attempt to do this full time. I'm at a pretty good spot where I do engage in social media, but not to the point where it will impact me in that sort of light. Also, I value stability 100%. I like to know exactly when my next paycheck is coming. I like to know exactly how much it's going to be. I really enjoy stability, financial stability in that aspect. And with YouTube especially, you never know. It goes up and down. You also start relying on sponsors. I really like where I'm at. I like, you know, the size of my channel right now. I used to be really into growing my channel, always into the numbers and trying to increase my subscriber count as much as possible and all that stuff. And now that we're going into year 2, I'm not really like that anymore. I don't really like strive for those kinds of things. I'm just cool going with the flow. And when I decided to take all that pressure off of me of growing this channel as big and as quickly as possible, this became a lot more enjoyable. By effect, I saw it grow organically without me putting all that pressure on myself. That's been a really big relief for me. Also, PSA, relying on sponsorships for YouTube is just such a stressful thing because A, you get paid a month later. And this is just gonna be like a general commentary. It's not towards anyone or any particular company. From a lot of the offers that I see pop up in my inbox, I just feel like content creators get lowballed a lot because the amount of effort it takes to produce a video and plan it out and edit it and all that stuff very rarely equal to what they're offering to pay you. And granted, this is plant YouTube, so it's not like anyone here is really pulling in the big bucks. Nobody on this platform is a millionaire or anything like that compared to other niches on YouTube. But still, I've seen offers that I felt were just downright insulting. I feel for all of the full-time creators that kind of have to put up with that because that is not fun. We just have a couple more to go. I'm gonna finish those off camera because there's a lot of noises happening, and then we will wrap this up when I come back. We are all done. I don't know how many propagations we took, but just by looking at it, probably like around 30-ish. I feel really good about it. I get to replenish my stock of props. I have some really cute ones that are in the works, so I'll go ahead and take some B-roll. There's a lot of different sizes and types of Hoya. I feel like my tastes for Hoya are pretty eclectic. I had a good time just chatting with you guys and catching up. I hope you guys got some plant chores done as well. Before I sign off, just a quick update in case anyone asks. The next schedule restock is gonna be October 8th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everything, I really gotta go because the dogs are literally insane. Okay, so all of the details for that will be on my website. I am gonna take the dogs on a walk ASAP because they are going crazy. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.